I want to say, yes, I did cut my hair. It's gone. It's gone. As we look at the world around us, we see that these transitions are happening all the time. The protests at the Mall of America. And growing up, I always had questions about why more people didn't stand up in the 60s. What caused them not to be moved, or why aren't we further along today because of everything that happened in the 60s? We are in our 60s. And the same arguments that were used for non-movement then are the same ones being used for now. Same reasons that people have for not understanding why people are committing themselves to these social movements are the same ones that were used in the 60s. And so, I was on a panel, and one of the questions on the panel was, what have we learned from the 60s? And my short answer was nothing. Because we seem to be stuck in this kind of perpetual mode of operation where not a critical mass of us have come to an understanding that there's an injustice that's happening to a small group of us. And so that's important for us to realize. It's also important for us to have a balance between all lives matter and Black Lives Matter, because both are true simultaneously. And there has to be room in the conversation to talk about both, because our Native brothers and sisters are catching the same level of boot print as our African American brothers and sisters. Our Hispanic, Latina brothers and sisters are particularly in the lower economic runs, are running into the same kinds of challenges. And so there has to be this balance between Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter. What I do know is all a thing. If we don't measure specifically that thing, we won't get the results that we want. I do think that the Mall of America incident is very interesting in that people are being charged for civil disobedience. Now, the thing that is most remarkable to me is that in a council meeting down in the city of Bloomington, the mayor and the Human Rights Commission came out and did this wonderful presentation for the commemoration of Dr. King and his legacy. And just a beautiful plaque, a beautiful presentation, was very heartwarming and ironic that this was taking place. And soon after they did their presentation, the city attorney stands up and says, civil disobedience has its consequences. And I find that interesting, particularly given the presentation that was given before that about Dr. King and how great he was. And yes, in fact, civil disobedience does have its consequences, but are you the one that's going to give those consequences when it is a right and just cause? And so we have to be mindful of how history is playing out. Some might argue that the argument that city attorney made is the same that Bull Connor made from the steps of the university. So if we don't pause and think about our place in history, those bad policies and procedures, I think it is sad that our politicians are leaving our police officers out to dry. Police officers and police departments don't do things just because they feel like doing them. They get approval from some approval bodies, most of those being other elected officials in the case of city municipalities, but also guidance from the electorate in the terms of, if we're looking at sheriff's departments and so forth, is that we're starting our YouTube channel. And I really would appreciate if you could take the time just to like or subscribe to our YouTube channel. This month we will be giving away a Google Chromecast. And actually we have 2 Google Chromecasts that we'll be giving out. The cutoff date for that handout is February 15th. And actually February 13th, and we'll announce the winner in our 15th, in February 15th's newsletter. So look for that. We enjoy engaging with you. And if there's anything you'd like to see from our services or ways that you'd like to reach out, please let us know, and we'd be more than happy to accommodate you in that. And this is Andre Cohen, and we look forward to seeing who you become.